pushing it wide. Walters onward. Khan joins in. Floats the pass for Renard. Renard down the touchline. Beats one. Gets it in field. Hancock gets it on. Queensland are coming back. Darren Smith for Langer. Langer gets it away. Here's the big fella. Gets the pass on. Coyne goes for the corner and gets the try. Queensland. Oh, yeah. That's not a try. That's a miracle.
Still hurts.
And the man who had the most crucial job in all of that, staying out of the way and blowing the whistle to award that try, the game's best referee, Bill Harrigan, joins us. G'day, Bill. Thanks for this.
Good evening, Tony. Thank you.
And all the reminiscences and memories of that moment, you don't get a mention, which is about perfect for a referee, isn't it?
It is perfect, and just to be a part of that try, to be so close to it and see, it's probably one of the best tries in rugby league. And to be right there and see it, it has a smile on my face when I award it, because again, Queensland just pulled the rabbit out of the hat and won the game.
Were you always expecting to be refereeing that game?
No, there's a little bit of a story behind that, Tony. Because it was at the Sydney Football Stadium, there was a policy in place that when Queensland came to Sydney, they selected the referee. That's why you mainly saw referees like David Manson and Eddie Ward. When New South Wales went to Queensland, Lang Park, Suncorp Stadium, you would see a New South Wales-based referee, because I was saying, well, they've got the home advantage, we get to pick the referee. So I had the week off. I'd booked a trip to Bali, leaving on the Tuesday before that Wednesday night, and then I got a phone call from Mick Stone, who was the referee's boss, and said, mate, you better put your trip on hold, because it looks like Queensland are going to select you as their referee. And I said, no, that's rubbish, they won't do that. And they did. There I was refereeing that game in 1994.
So, Billy, you were happy to turn the trip to Bali down and be in charge that night? Or were you going, look, do I really want that?
No, I switched their flights and I was out on the very first flight on the Thursday morning, Brandy. So I still went, but I was 2 days short on the trip.
Mind you, Bill, you've got, 3 New South Welshmen here. You've decided to stay home for this interview. You're probably still a bit sensitive about the outcome.
Yeah, decided to stay home. Feeling a little bit crook, so I couldn't make the trip in there tonight, but, you know, we got Zoom, so still got to do it.
Bill, you've officiated more State of Origin matches than anyone else. What do you make of Ashley Klein getting the nod over Adam G?
Well, personally, I like Adam G as a referee. I think he's our new young fella coming through. If I had to do the selections based on what I've seen this year, I probably would have gone with Adam G. And also I'm going with a younger bloke coming through that's going to be there for the next probably 5-10 years. Ashley's done a great job in the past. He's done his games. But I'm sitting at home watching from the lounge room, so my opinion really doesn't matter, but I probably would have gone for Adam G.
Bill, people always said you were the best Origin referee, and during that period, because you let the game flow and you didn't blow many penalties, did you go in with a mindset that you would control the game differently to what you did on the weekends?
Well, you do, Brandy. You know, when you were asked that question by media, you would always say to them, oh, nothing's changed, I still prepare the same way. And really, it's a load of rubbish. We still prepare the same way physically, but it's a different game. Mentally, you're all of a sudden thinking, I'm going out to referee this game. And I always use an analogy that an NRL game is like getting into your own car and racing around Mount Panorama. State of Origin is like getting into a V8 supercar. It's that much quicker. It's that much more intense. And if you're not with the game at the start, you're left behind, you don't catch up. You're left behind for the whole game. So it's a completely different mindset, and you've got to prepare that way. So when that kickoff goes, you've got to be mentally ready and on your game 100% from that very first kickoff, very first tackle.
There we go. We knew it. We knew that. Thanks for your honesty, Billy. Thank you.
Bill, you seem to have a great relationship with the players at both levels, NRL and obviously Origin level, as you said, which is the next step up. Do you think the players knew that line with yourself as well as a referee and not to stand over it?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that came along with the years of being in first grade and getting to know me getting to know the players and saying, right, we've earned each other's respect. Here's the line in the sand. If you cross it, you know what's going to happen. If you stick with the game, well, then I'll let it flow. I'll put the whistle in the pocket and I'll just open the game up. I think one of the Origin games, I had one penalty. I remember one of the players saying to me, for Christ's sake, Bill, blow a penalty so we can have a rest.
Well, someone that did forget that was Gordon Tallis.
Yeah.
He forgot.
Yeah, Gordon, in 2000, he called me a couple of choice words. The C word I can cop, the cheat I couldn't cop.
They're both C words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got some vision of that right now. And he wasn't keen to go, was he?
No, he just kept saying, just talk to me, Bill, just talk to me. And I said, no talking. Like, once you call me a cheat, 7 players have done it in my career. All 7 players were sent off. There's no coming back from it. Once you say it, there's no sorry, there's no nothing, you're gone. And that's what Gordy said, running down the field. And he said, mate, you're a worse referee than Stephen Clark. Yeah, I can cop that. And when we got into the in goal and Ryan Gerther scored the try, then he just come boring over like he does, the raging bull, and just let those couple of choice words go, and I marched him.
I think he didn't want to go because he'd realised what had happened. He'd realised that he just went too far, and he was thinking, come on, Bill, let's we can sort this out now.
Let's wind back the clock.
I take it back.
I do give him credit, Brandy. He did come into the dressing room at the end of the game and said, I still think there was a knock-on out there, but I apologise for what I said to you.
Yeah, he's a good
We shook hands and we're okay.
Yeah,
That's good.
Bill, is there a game, an Origin game in particular, or a moment that stands out the most for you out of all the games that you refereed?
I think that 194, one because I was chosen by Queensland, that try at the end of it. The other one is Alfie Langer's return in 2001, and the way he just dominated that game, set up tries, scored a try himself, and the smile on his face, and just the way Queensland and the crowd got right behind his comeback when people were bagging at the start with, and was it the right decision? So being a part of that, and also following rugby league before I got the first grade, I was a big fan of rugby league, and I was a big fan of Wally Lewis as a player. And here I was in 1991 running out onto Lang Park and refereeing Wally Lewis. And so for me, even as a referee, it was, oh, wow, now I'm out here. I used to watch this bloke, and now I'm out here refereeing him. So that series in 91 was very special as well. I'll just give you another little story. In 91, they had the Redcoats up there at Lang Park. The Redcoats are the guys that knock on the door and say, right, I bring the teams out now and take you out on the field for the national anthem. They knocked on my door and they said, how'd you come, Billy? Now, referees, we always come out last. And on this occasion, they said, mate, this is State of Origin. You've got to go out first. I didn't know any better. It was my first game. So the Redcoat sent me out. I walked out the tunnel there at the old Lang Park, and I got absolutely hammered for about 3 minutes before the New South Wales team came out. Absolutely hammered with the booing and hissing because I was from New South Wales-based referee. When I went back there for game 3, Redcoat knocked on my door and said, come on, ref, out you come. And I went, no, not going, mate. And he said, no, you've got to come out now. I said, no, I'm not going. I walked out just before the Queensland team. When they saw me, they started booing, but then only a step behind me was Wally Lewis, and it turned to cheers. And I was like, that's the way to walk out.
Look, we've got to let you go before we do. I mean, you are not only a great referee, but you're a bit glamorous, Billy. I mean, there was the whole modelling world that you got into that you might have some... Look at that.
Oh, la, la. Hello, ladies.
Do you enjoy all that process?
Yeah, I did back then. Turn the clock back. I don't look like that anymore.
You can still blow the whistle, Bill Harrigan. Thank you so much for joining us. It's been a great pleasure. See you soon, mate.
Thanks very much. Bye.
There is Bill Harrigan. Coming up, though, our champ of the week. Stick around. Nice work.